and welcome to your weekly news roundup for the heart of the Czech Republic. I'm Marcela Tomčíková, and together we will take a look at the most important events from Prague and the central Bohemia region. Prague has approved a change to the zoning plan that will allow the construction of a new urban district on the site of the former Žižkov freight station. The site will house apartments for up to 20,000 people, schools, kindergartens and a new tram line. At the same time, the city signed contracts with investors for billions in public infrastructure contributions. The total constructions will take approximately 15 to 20 years.
Prague has approved a change to the zoning plan that will allow for the development of a large portion of the land around the former Žižkov freight station. At the same time, contracts were signed with developers regarding financial and property contributions that the companies will provide to the city for the development of public infrastructure.
The entire area is quite extensive, located partially in a central position in Prague 3, and as it currently operates, it acts as a barrier in the city and is somewhat of a dead zone where not much activity takes place, with minor crime concentrated in that area.
This is a zoning plan change, the first step for this, so that investors can apply for permits today collectively. There is much work ahead of us, and for me, the most substantial effort lies in the current building, the historic train station. There are many talks about this. To bring the building back to life and to prepare a project.
We started from the bottom, from what the city needs to ensure mandatorily, which is the number of kindergartens and elementary schools and secondary schools. The current plan includes 5 new kindergartens, 2 elementary schools, and 1 secondary school, managed by Prague.
At the same time, apartments for 15 to 20,000 people should be built here. A group of 5 investors will take care of the construction of new buildings. They will invest several billion crowns in the area over the next few years. A new district will be crossed by a tram line that is already under construction.
We worked on the concept together with colleagues to maximize the use of the historic railway line. This also allowed us to resolve the property rights issues relatively quickly, and consequently, the permitting process as well. Today, we are at a stage where there is an existing, valid building permit, and we are discussing the construction of a tram line that will have 6 new stops. The first phase will extend from Olshanska to Osikova. The second phase will finish past Orojarov, fully double-tracked, and we will see what comes next. We will see if we can connect the part beyond Orojarov to the area, perhaps to Prague 10.
The construction of the frog will proceed gradually to minimize the burden on the surrounding area. It may be fully completed in 15 to 20 years.
The V for Victory. That's the name of a new exhibition commemorating the 18th anniversary of the end of World War II, was officially opened on Mariánské náměstí. There are 120 period photographs from the May uprising on display, including the Herze tank destroyer, which actually took part in the fighting in 1945. The capital has also prepared, for example, the lighting of the town hall and other special events throughout Prague.
A panel exhibition titled Vi for Victory was ceremoniously opened at Mariánské náměstí in front of the new town hall. This exhibition was created to celebrate the 18th anniversary of the end of the Second World War.
Here, we will definitely see historical photographs, totaling 120, that recall various moments.
The Military Historical Institute provided photos from our collections to Martina Fraus. The collection of photographs from the uprising in 1945 has been deposited at the Military Historical Institute since that year, from 45 and beyond. These photos are interesting. It's an exhibition.
That reminds us of the May Days, when the revolution took place in Prague. Until the 5th of May. In Šerov, they began working, starting on the 1st. It is meant to remind us of that era, when the Czech people actually rebelled.
In those photographs, visitors can see, and that is also why they might want to come and see the exhibition. The dramatic May Days that took place here in the metropolis, when approximately 1,600 barricades were erected in Prague, when the people of Prague armed themselves and resisted the German evil,
As part of the event, a tank destroyer that directly participated in the dramatic events at the end of the war in Prague will be displayed at Mariánské náměstí for a week.
From our heavy combat equipment funds, we have brought the Hetzel tank destroyer, which is located right behind me. It is a tank destroyer that was made at ČKD here in Prague. It was captured there, and because it did not have the main mounted gun, the insurgents welded strong steel plates onto it, into which they then inserted a heavy machine gun and set out to assist the entire uprising in May 1945. We also want to contribute to the festive experience on Victory Day. So we will contribute with festive lighting of the captured vehicle, which is displayed here at Mariánské náměstí, and the new town hall will be illuminated for 5 days, starting from April 30th, to finish before the uprising's eve. In the first 3 days, it will shine in gold and red, representing Prague as a city of resistance during the uprising, and the next 2 days, it will be in the colors of our national tricolor.
Moreover, the capital is engaging in other planned activities in the metropolis to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. As an illustration, it works on projects at the Museum of the capital city of Prague, including the setup of an improvised barricade. This includes a happening parade or a symbolic restoration of the bell that was destroyed from the old town hall.
And because Czechs are beer lovers, there is something to celebrate. Great success for Czech beer. The family-run Matuška microbrewery from central Bohemia has won a gold medal at the World Beer Cup 2025 in the USA. Its semi-dark lager from the village Bromy near Beroun triumphed over strong international competition. Pivovar Matuška has also a strong success story, from the humble beginnings in a garage into the one of the leading Czech microbreweries. Vox Populi inspires. Representatives of the Prague 4 district have completed the collection of suggestions from the public for the preparation of an urban study focused on the area between Štúrova Street and the Krč housing estate. Logically, our team went there, in particular to the last of the 3 sites, the pedestrian zone near the Albert retail chain.
The district of Prague 4 has successfully gathered public input, which is intended to be a crucial foundation for the preparation of the urban planning study assignment. This will involve the area between Štúrova Street and the housing in Krč, including the so-called promenade, a pedestrian zone that has the potential for future growth.
The beautiful, fragrant promenade has a history, and we would like to restore its former glory. This also indicated that Metro Line D will have exits on both the north and south sides here, and it could create a beautiful connection between the new neighborhoods that will emerge here.
The suggestions from local residents and property owners will play an important role according to the city district in the urban study assignment, which is expected to outline the future development of this area.
They will represent the most crucial and least neglected aspect. The second least overlooked part will be the owners of those houses, and of course, also the expert opinions of the planners, which we do not yet know who will be. So we will tender all the northern suggestions later.
The public had the opportunity to share their ideas and needs in person at planning tents in the Krč housing estate. At the locations, there were representatives from the city district and specialists with whom it was possible to engage in discussions right there. The suggestions will serve as a key input for preparing the study assignment.
A major issue was the volume of cars passing through, since that street is partly designated as a pedestrian zone. However, the zoning is not very clearly defined, and it's not just about passing cars, but also about fast-moving and parked vehicles. Overall, parking throughout the entire state is proving to be quite a significant problem, which leads us to conclude that the study might have to consider transportation issues to some degree.
An urban study will be commissioned through a public tender process. One of its objectives will be to design a concept for utilizing the promenade and the surrounding inner blocks. It will consider future building and transport options, define the space's character, access to greenery, furniture and pedestrian traffic, and support city coordination, municipal companies and private property owners.
After more than 5 years of reconstruction, the Museum of Local History in Nymburk has reopened. The exhibition, for almost 80 million crowns, offers a new perspective, not only on the colorful history of the city itself, but also on the whole Polaby. Visitors could enjoy new premises, including several unique collection items.
Nymburk turned 750, founded by King Przemysl Otakar Teku. One of the highlights of the celebrations was the ceremonial reopening of the local history museum that has opened its doors to visitors in newly renovated areas after over 5 years of reconstruction.
In the last 5.5 years, we undertook a complete renovation of the entire museum structure. Visitors previously had access to just 1/3 of the ground floor before renovations. Today, the museum opens its doors, allowing access to the full ground floor, the first floor, and a new section with 2 unique items on display, featuring works like a painting by Alphonse Mucha from 1921, which portrays the Nyburka to God and patrons, and a personal car of Bohumil Rabau.
The reconstruction was executed in cooperation with the Central Bohemian region, which financed the project, and it has certainly been worthwhile, as there is much to see. Additionally, the exhibition is visually complemented by illustrations from the artist and Magnesia Litera Award winner Lucy Seifertová. A new feature is also a completely new exhibition in the basement, which was not even part of the original plan.
While carrying out construction, remains of a few houses dating back to the 14th and 15th centuries were found. This is a relatively interesting and unique archaeological discovery. The cellar was meant for technical facilities, so we had to change the project, resulting in another unexpected exhibition where visitors can glimpse into the distant past of the town of Nymburek.
The Central Bohemian region is the founder of 20 cultural contribution organizations and strives to support them evenly. Their renovations, modernization, new exhibitions, so that visitors can learn as much as possible about the history of the Central Bohemian region in the most attractive way.
The reconstruction lasted 5 years and cost around 78 million crowns. The Central Bohemian region, however, intends to support more similar projects. For example, reconstruction of the local museum in Vilov near Prague has just begun.
And at the very end of this edition, we take you a couple of days back for traditional Witches' Night celebration, which comes to the last of April. Another year of the biggest witches in the country took place at Ladronka in Prague 6. Visitors enjoyed competitions, concerts and traditional bonfires. There was also a rich program for children and performances by well-known music bands. The weather was kind and the area was filled with hundreds of people.
Sunny afternoon, hundreds of masks, dozens of attractions, and above all, a blazing bonfire. The Witches at Ladronka are one of the largest and most popular events of their kind in the Czech Republic.
The witch event at Ladronka is likely the biggest of its kind in the Czech Republic. Traditionally, a huge number of people come here, and at the heart of it is, of course, the blazing bonfire. It's clear we burn witches, but there are also various attractions for children. This means a classic competition for the most beautiful mask, or perhaps a magical trail. The place is filled with countless people and stalls. It's just a tradition. And today we also have fantastic weather, so I think we are completely at 100% of our expectations.
Safety at the event was handled professionally, and this year the fire could truly blaze thanks to good conditions.
Safety is meticulously ensured, but there were years we couldn't light the fire due to a ban in Prague, which is no longer the case. I go to light the fire at 7:30, and I do it routinely now, as I've done it so many times that I can't even count how many.
The main music act tonight was the band Sto Zvířat, celebrating 35 years on stage this year.
I'm extremely excited. Many witches will participate, so it should be a good time. A lucky blend of things. Our usual performances are enriched this year as we are celebrating our 35th season. So we've dug up some older pieces, so we added some flavor to it.
The event included the Boxel Band, contests for kids, sports activities, and many food stalls. Visitors praised not only the atmosphere, but also that both adults and children enjoyed the event. What was your favorite part?
The best part for me is the witch here.
And how was the fire?
Well, it doesn't have a head anymore. Probably the bike ride in the slalom or jumping rope there. And painting witches. We loved the Voxel band. They were fantastic, so we danced, right?
I'm here for the second time since I hadn't visited Prague before. So it's actually my second time, and it's nice.
Your costume is lovely. How long did it take?
15 minutes plus 2.5 hours to get the child to sleep. Naturally, we're waiting for Stosia.
The witches at Ladronka have again shown they are one of the favorite spring events in Prague. A blend of tradition, entertainment, and a wonderful atmosphere drew in hundreds of visitors across all age groups.
That's all for this week's edition of Praha TV Weekly News. We truly appreciate you being with us. Your attention makes our work meaningful. I'm Marcela Tomčíková, and I look forward to sharing more local stories with you again soon. Until then, take care and be well.